Welcome to the Livfiit Listens podcast, a safe space of growth, personal development, and overall wellness with your host, Olivia Catania. Diving into the realms of all things health, conscious living, mental expansion, and much more, this podcast is designed to help you evolve into your best self and live fit. Let's get into the show. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Livfiit Listens podcast, episode 59. Today, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, and I feel the need to preface just because I definitely am lower energy. Like, I did that thing today where I basically took off like the sweatshirt I slept in and put on another sweatshirt to sit down and record this. But I really just didn't want to miss a week of the podcast, you know? I'm not like sick, but I definitely have like a little bit of a dry cough, don't feel the greatest. And just honestly, to top it all off, I did start my cycle today, which just also makes more sense in so many other, you know, when you like are kind of in a mood and then you get your period and you're like, oh, okay, like at least it kind of makes sense. That's like where I'm at today. And my sister Natalie is sick and she was here visiting this weekend. And so here I am. I definitely caught a little tail end of what she had, but I'm hoping that it's not going to last super long. I also feel like literally everyone and their freaking brother right now is not feeling well. Like even like on social media, people that aren't even in my social circle / where I live. I just feel like everyone like this is sick season. Not super happy about it, but it is what it is. So with that being said, I don't believe this epi is going to be like a super long one. We'll see how long it is. I didn't really make an extensive outline because I kind of had this thought the other day of what we're talking about. And then I just kind of am like, I'm just going to sit down and talk about it. I have like 4 points on my outline. This little cough. Anyways, so for my gratitude for today, as much, if you guys follow me on like YouTube, like your avid vlog watchers or like on Instagram, you know that I kind of, I struggle when all my family's here like throughout the winter, just because the biggest problem is simply just that I really like my space and my alone time, and I don't really have that when everyone is here. So that's like really the problem, not necessarily like my family, you know, if that makes sense. So anyways, today I finally, like the house is finally quiet today because everyone officially left, which hallelujah. And so I was able to do my whole morning routine, which also, by the way, I wanted to touch on this also because I really have like not been, my energetic hygiene has not been there the past like 3 to 4 weeks because everyone has been here, and it's just very, you know, distracting, and I don't really feel in the space to like sit down and meditate / I don't really have the space just because there's, yeah, it's just a situation. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, but I really truly feel like that's contributed to me like feeling under the weather and stuff like that, just because I haven't, like I said, I just haven't been on my energetic hygiene. So I just feel like my vibration is lower. I'm more susceptible. I'm more vulnerable. And I just want that to like speak on behalf of just how important it is to like really not only take care of yourself physically and mentally, but also like energetically. And that's why I'm so big on like meditation, affirmations, things like that, to really like hone in on your energy and really dictate how you're showing up for the day. But anyways, this morning when I was meditating at the end, I went through like what I was grateful for, and it brought me to tears of just like how thankful I really am for family time. Even though I complain about it and how much I want my space when they are here, I know like deep down how much I'm grateful to have them and how thankful I am to be able to share so many amazing experiences with them in my life, and just be able to have loved ones, you know, be close to me and be able to spend time with loved ones, you know, like I'm aware that's very special. And it was a really beautiful moment this morning of just kind of taking a second of like beyond the chaos, you know, beyond how hectic things can be when everyone's here. I really am so thankful to still have that time with them. So getting into this episode, I titled this, Your Work is Your Job. And basically what I want to talk about, because this is kind of a thing that I feel I get like agitated about, and I feel like this may be kind of a wake up call and light a little fire under your guys' booties if you guys need it, because I feel like when people think that they need some sense of a solution, right, whether this being, you know, they have anxiety and their thoughts are constantly running away from them, or they're like struggling just to honestly work through any sort of character traits or anything like that, I feel like so many people think that they need to always look outside of themselves to quote unquote be healed and have someone else heal them, right? Whether that's a therapist that you're going to, whether that's depending on medication, whether that's you going to a Reiki healer or a tarot card reader or an energy healer, any of these things, right? It's like, I feel like so many people feel the need to go to these people to, like I said, quote unquote, heal them, / they almost use, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk down on any of these people, right? They're all genuinely talented healers in their own respective fields. Like, they're all super different, but they all are talented healers, which I'll get into that in a second. My intention with this episode is to not, like, discredit them, belittle them, anything like that. But sometimes, you know, when you end up taking on a certain diagnosis and kind of identifying yourself and then feeling like the only solution is to have someone heal you outside of yourself, that can be a very dangerous place to be in, because I want to say a very vulnerable place to be in, because you're kind of giving your power away to heal yourself in a sense, / you start to look towards other people of like, yeah, damn, I really don't think I can get through this unless I go to this energy healer to heal everything, or unless I go to this Reiki healer to lift this from me, or unless I go to therapy, like, I'm going to be stuck. Like, this is just something that I'm carrying with me and I have no other option unless some sort of quote unquote professional, you know, heals me for me. And again, I guess I really do want to make this clear. Each one of those healers totally has a place, right? And like I said, I'm not trying to demean that or belittle that. And I do think they are super important in a crucial step into people's healings, right? Because I'm not going to tell you the right way to heal, right? Everyone has a different healing journey. Everyone needs different things that helps them. And I'm not trying to be ignorant to that. But what I am trying to say is that is not end all be all, / you need to be doing your own work to thoroughly heal, you know, through and through to your core. If you're looking to heal, you need to put in your own work, and you can't solely depend on these outside healers to do everything for you. And I think a perfect example of this is like you saying that you want your quote unquote dream body, or you want to get healthier. So you go to get a personal trainer and then you just expect them to get you your dream body for you. No, like, obviously that is impossible, first of all. Second of all, you have to be putting in the work, right? You're going to the personal trainer for them to give you the tools, the advice, the guidance, the help, the support, the assistance, right? To help you do so and to help you get to your goal. But at the end of the day, you are the one that needs to be putting in the work. You're the one that needs to do each rep. You're the one that needs to really incorporate mind to muscle connection. You're the one that really needs to control each part of the movement. You're the one that really needs to focus on your nutrition outside of the gym, right? There's so many things that go beyond the advice that your personal trainer is giving you. And that's kind of what I want to hone in here. Like I said, whether you're going to therapy or whatever the case may be, you can't solely depend on these outside sources to do everything for you, or else you will not get there. And I think a beautiful thing, which was a really big realization I had the other day, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from my fitness journey is that it really is about the actions on the micro scale that add up to the really, really big changes. And that's why I'm so huge, right? Switching more so into the mental avenue. It's why I'm so huge into meditating, journaling, doing affirmations, all these micro things, right? That seem super, super simple, like painstakingly simple, that seem super redundant, right? But they're really hugely transformative when you take those steps every single day to pursue those mindful actions and those mindful practices every single day. When they add up to a really big change. And that's kind of what I want to hone in here in this epi. And I think another really good example of this is therapy and someone who has anxiety-ridden thoughts. Because for me, I'm a huge advocate that, again, everyone has their own situations, right? I'm not trying to come and diagnose everyone, but I do think for a majority of people, a lot of their anxiety is stemming from just kind of uncontrolled thoughts, in the sense that they're letting anxiety-ridden thoughts carry momentum and take control throughout the day. And so it's kind of like, yes, that person can go to therapy to help with their anxiety 100%. I think that's a beautiful solution, and I think a really great tool to go use. I'm, again, not trying to say that that's not a useful tool or deter you from it, but I'm just saying, if you solely depended on your talk with your therapist once a week or however frequently you go, right? But then whenever you're outside, and you know, that is transformative and you learn things, but outside of your therapy session and you're going about your day and you're still letting your thoughts run, right? And you're still not taking control when you have an anxiety-ridden thought, and you're letting it, you know, snowball, and you're not taking the action to redirect your thoughts to something more positive, or you're not trying to calm yourself down or talk yourself kind of off that ledge, for lack of a better term. Like, if you aren't doing those things, if you're not taking what you're learning in therapy and putting them into action throughout your whole entire day, change will not occur. And that's the harsh truth, and that's with everything. Same thing what I'm saying with the personal trainer example, that your trainer can tell you these are the exercises you're supposed to do, these are the types of foods that I want you to be eating. But if you leave that session and you're, you know, completely off the path, when you're away from your personal trainer, you're not going to be making the progress that you need to see. And that's just kind of, I guess, why I said I get sometimes frustrated in the beginning of the episode, because people, I feel like, will sometimes turn to these resources, like I said, and will go there and be like, look, I showed up to therapy, or look, I took my medication, or look, I went to the Reiki healer, and kind of expect that that's kind of what's going to heal them, or that's kind of what's going to be the end all be all. But you have to remember that, take those tools that each one of those healers gave you, right? And what they're, I guess, the direction they're trying to help guide you towards, right? Take that advice, take that help, take that insight. But now it's up to you to actually apply it day in and day out. And I think if, people really, truly adopted this mindset and understood it and put it into practice, like I'm saying, and really put in the micro action on the daily scale to really truly implement the changes that they're wanting to see on the daily scale, to really evoke change, that's when they would really finally see the progress that they're looking to see. And I guess sometimes it just kind of makes me a little bit sad to see that some people honestly just kind of hold themselves back a little bit and not even being aware of it, because they're just expecting or thinking, or they've learned that something outside of themselves will heal them for you. And I think even just in our society, that's just kind of what, the theory that we've adopted as a society, that it's like, oh, we always need to be looking to something outside of ourselves to heal us, whether that is going to therapy or going to the doctors or XYZ. Again, those are useful tools, but we do need to do more than that. Again, back to like this more so in like a gym example. Again, it's like if you wanted to be having your dream body, but you're not paying attention to your water intake, what you're eating, your daily steps, it's like you're only focusing on one side of the equation. If you're only focusing on what you're doing in the gym or whatever the case may be, like there's more pieces to the puzzle, and there's more of a it's more of a multifaceted situation. Like all healing is very multifaceted, and it's about doing all of those things. And I think it's easy to want to overlook those small, macro movements, or those micro movements, or those small micro actions of like those mindful practices. But it's kind of that constant, because that's why I'm so passionate about your mindset, because it's like when I'm looking to incorporate implement a true change, whether that's I want to change the way I respond to certain triggers, whether I want to change how I react when I'm upset, whether I want to change how I get triggered when I see someone's competition. I could go to therapy for that, and they 100% can help me change my mindset and see where those triggers are and help me work through these things to have revelations. But at the end of the day, these changes, I guess, in how we are perceiving our reality comes down to the micro scale of repetition of you. Because the thing is, if you go to therapy and they help you, right, have these revelations, since our thoughts are habits, our responses, our reactions are still going to habitually come up on the micro scale, even though we went to therapy and they told us why it's happening, right? And maybe they gave us some exercises to be able to work through them. But if we're not doing those exercises on the micro scale, if we're not having the awareness of what our thoughts are and taking the action to consciously change our thoughts, the changes that we're learning or that we're working towards in therapy aren't actually going to be implemented if we aren't honing in on them on those micro scales. And so, like I'm saying, when I am trying to incorporate mental shifts, it's all coming down to what I'm doing on the micro scale every single day throughout the whole day. It's like, oh, I have the awareness at 2 p.m. that I just got triggered, and I had the initial instinctual reaction to close up. I have that awareness, and now I'm choosing to take a breath and to explain to so-and-so why I'm feeling a certain way, instead of closing up and having that initial low vibrational reaction, right? It's things like that, day after day after day, moment after moment, of you consciously choosing a different thought and choosing a different action at the result of you choosing a different thought. That's really what's going to incorporate thorough change throughout the long haul. Just so many of the problems that we deal with on a day-to-day basis are mental. And it's kind of back to that quote, like, you need to control your mind or else it controls you. And I just hope that this epi will kind of inspire everyone to take more accountability and responsibility, not only for their own healing, but their own thought process, right? Their own perception of their reality, their own responses, right? Instead of just reacting out of past programmings. Like I'm saying, I encourage, and I am so happy to hear when people are looking to external things to help heal them, because these do all play a role in your healing. They are a component that can greatly help and can help make the healing easier, but they're not going to get you all the way from point A to point B. Like, you need to fill in the gaps and be the bridge via you taking the action and actually being present and having the awareness in your thought process and in your mind to not let your mind run away from you, and for you to actually be able to consciously choose to think different things and act different ways by you having awareness in your mind. So for the affirmation for this epi, I put in the micro actions to implement the change that I wish to see in myself. I put in the micro actions to implement the change that I wish to see in myself. That's a good one. So I hope this helps bring some awareness to everyone. Might be a little bit triggering, a little kick in the butt, but I think this is really just a good episode that I think a lot more people may need to hear than they may think. But I'm really hoping this is going to help and give you guys the awareness that you may be lacking to help you really get over that line and really continue through your healing process thoroughly. So thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I need to go snow blow because we have so much freaking snow, which yes, I've learned how to snow blow, but this is going to be my first time doing it completely alone without my dad here. So we'll see how it goes, but we've been getting so much snow and it's 2 p.m. and so I really need to get out there. But anyways, I'm sending you guys so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in the next epi. Peace out.